You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
And a very good evening to everyone here live on youtube.com. It's a Thursday night, the last one of May of 2025, and I thought we couldn't go out this month without actually being live on the last week of May. And it's a great honor to have on this next guest because I personally did not make this happen. Glenn, shout out to Glenn, he got me in contact with a fantastic artist from the USA. Please welcome to the show, here live tonight, Ned Evett. Welcome to the show.
Edward, welcome. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, and I like it because I think you're one of the few artists out there who actually brought the guitar along with them, so I'm liking it. It's different.
Yeah, it's always good to show everybody what's up with my guitars. I play fretless guitars, and they're made out of exotic materials like titanium, glass, and aluminum. So I always like to at least have one of them on screen with me.
Yeah. Why not? And it's a good choice you've made for this evening, and I love it. And we might hear a bit of jingles going on as you discuss your answers. I can't wait to see what surprises you bring up.
I'll try to be entertaining as possible.
Yes, you will be. I have full faith. In you. So yeah, you are fine. But talk to me about your upcoming trip over to our side of the ocean. Of course, you've been here many times in your luxurious career. And what is it about the UK and Ireland fan base which always drives you over here? What is about it for you?
Well, the British invasion of the 1960s works both ways. Many of us over here in the States are Anglophiles and huge, appreciation of the arts that have come out of, both in Ireland and England, of course. And it's a long list of artists which we grew up on, that oftentimes are punching above their weight, as they say in the boxing world. Like, Ireland is tiny, but look at some of the huge artists, musical artists that have come out of there. And there's just something about that that's just so resonant on a global scale. And it's always connected with me. Anybody from Luca Bloom all the way up, of course, like, U2, Sinead O'Connor, just something about that hopefulness that comes out of Ireland in the music, and the power and the rawness. Rory Gallagher on the blues guitar. It's just such a rich galaxy of artists from such a tiny place, and it's always connected with me. Plus, I have Irish roots too. I'm Conaway. Conaway was my mom's maiden name. They came over in the 1870s, and so there's that too. I applied for Irish citizenship, but I missed it by like one generation.
Oh, no. That's a shame.
Too bad for me.
Well, never say never. There still might be a chance for you to somehow become a citizen, or is it impossible? Because like in the US, I think you got to be there for if you want to, get a US citizenship, you got to be there for about 10 years, I believe, before they will grant you one. So, is there something like that you could do in Ireland, maybe?
Well, I've looked into it a couple of different times. This is based on like hereditary program they have in various countries. If your grandparents emigrated, then you could apply for sort of a dual citizenship thing. But unfortunately for me, it was my great grandparents who came over, so just one or two generations too far to let me back in.
Always the way, though, isn't it? Where the last generation have to spoil it for the next, but at least you can trace your roots all the way back, though, that far back. So that's pretty neat, and I'm sure there's many people out there who might be having to go to different websites like Ancestry and other ones to go and do their roots. Have you ever been offered to do that, to go back into your roots?
Through Ancestry.com, and but we already, through family lore and family history. We already kind of knew what the progression was from Ireland. So
Got ya.
yeah.
Got ya. That's fair. Have you met anybody on the long way who you come across who is alive and you didn't know about and are now connected, or?
You know what? No, that's one thing that's interesting. I have not been able to find any relatives that are connected in that way, that are
Right.
that direct. Our family seems to have come over, and then our family in Ireland seems to have dispersed, and there's just no, yeah, have not been able to do that. But, so if anybody out there is a Conaway, come to one of my shows.
Yeah, yeah. Come to me to shows, and let's talk about it because, of course, you are coming to Ireland, obviously, and you mentioned that,
Yeah.
and yeah, we discussed that in a moment. But of course, you got a solo headline tour as well coming up with Joe, Satriani, and Steve V or Vai. We can
Hmm.
discuss all that now if you would like. What's been the inspiration behind this upcoming tour? Is it something which your fan base has been craving for, or has been a mixture of maybe some connections from Steve, or as well as with Joe, maybe?
My Irish tour that I'm doing is just pure love, man. I wanted to come over. Been wanting to come back to Ireland for some time. I played in Belfast and Dublin in 2010, so it's been a while.
Yeah, 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's like quick. It's crazy how time goes by. And I got this offer to play with Joe and Steve as their opening act, which doesn't start until mid-June. So
Fair enough.
so I reached out and booked this advanced tour so I can come over, spend some time in Ireland, play some shows and do my full set, which is about 90 minutes or so,
Not
plus,
bad.
other stuff. And my set with Joe and Steve is quite short. It's a typical opening slot. Uh, so yeah, that's the Ireland thing is purely just a strong desire to come back and see everybody there again.
Yeah, and I bet when you come back to Ireland, I bet a lot of things will have changed since you were last there 15 years ago as well. So it'll be interesting to see how mind blown you will be when you return back to your second home.
Yeah, man. Ireland's always been on the rise since I've been coming over there, and it's so much incredible energy, not just in the arts, but just in business and just general culture. It's been on the rise, so it's exciting to see.
Yeah.
The Celtic Tiger, I believe it was called at one point. Like that was the kind of the buzzword, and
I
you
love it.
see it.
I
Yeah,
love it.
man.
I love it. But yeah, no, it's going to be great, and I'm sure the fans will be pleased and over the moon that you are with.
On our couches with our phones at the end of the day. And I think it's a little harder inertia wise for people to get out and to see live music. That
Yeah,
being said, live music is still one of the best experiences that you can participate in for, in my case, a relatively, small ticket price. You can see all these crazy guitars that are made of glass and titanium and aluminum and these songs which are inspired by them and work with them. So there has been really positive in Ireland on the press end, and the fans that I do have, they're very excited. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but you got to be realistic too. I haven't been there in 15 years, so you know.
yeah. But hopefully, from when you announced it, that I'm sure the fans who maybe saw you 15 years ago are immediately coming back to see you again in 15 years' time. It is now, of course, upcoming only in a few weeks' time. Of course, from next week it is officially June, so it's not long to go before you're back in our side of the world.
I'm flying there on Saturday. I'm going to
Yeah,
get there a few days early, and I've never played in Galway before. I have a show at Roshan Dove
I love
uh,
it.
on June 7th. I've never played there, and but I have played in Dublin and Belfast
Yeah.
before.
But no, it'd be quite a good place to start as well to go somewhere new and different for a change as well. Instead of doing the cities and the busking and the meeting of the people you come across when you're going out and about. Bit like what Bruce Springsteen did when he came to Manchester a few weeks ago for his tour, where he went out and about
Yes.
and just meeting random people, no security. It was just like bonkers. But I'm sure it'll be the same for you, bumping into random people who are fans of your work in Ireland.
Oh, it's interesting. People kind of come out of the woodwork, so to speak, especially guitar players,
Yeah,
people that like guitar playing and weird guitars. They're out there, the guitar heads. and they will generally show up if you give them adequate notice. I hope I have. I've done what I can to let people know about the show, and yeah, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm super excited to come to Ireland and play.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you are currently, I believe, are you in Los Angeles at the moment? Or you, because I know you're originally from Nashville, and the Music City. You know, there's nothing better than
Yes.
Nashville. And what is there a particular, I guess, inspiration which you maybe got from Nashville, from one of those fantastic legends which you bring to your shows, as people in Ireland or maybe some parts of the UK later later next month will be able to see you and think, yep, that reminds me of so and so.
Yeah, Nashville, being born in Nashville and growing up around music is like being dipped in the river Styx. You're just kind of like everything in Nashville revolves around music. You can go out to a cafe or a coffee shop and that's all people are talking about
Wow.
are albums and songs and bands, and it's wonderful. It really gets into your blood. There are specific things about Nashville in terms of the musical style. Like I'm playing a resonator guitar, which it was sort of popularized in Memphis and the Delta blues era.
Yeah.
So, and there's kind of just two good men a long time gone. Two good men a long time gone. Psycho in the mid city of gone. Left me here to sing this song. There's just kind of with the country meeting the blues and all that wrapped up in one. And, so many great Irish songwriters. And of course, the the Irish diaspora coming over to the United States, all those folk songs, those Presbyterian hymns and folk songs, that is the basis of our blues music, So those two things are just intertwined.
Hmm. With Nashville and I guess as well, many people from across the world come to Nashville as well for all the concerts and just for the museums as well, with all the music in that city. So I bet you are very happy to be from that special place in Nashville.
Definitely. They call it Nash Vegas because it's quite entertaining just to
Yeah,
go there for a holiday.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
I
yeah,
bet it is, and I guess it's like the Las Vegas of Tennessee, I guess.
it is.
But so of course your tour, as we mentioned, will begin on Tuesday the 3rd of June in Dublin, Ireland, and then of course you're back on the 6th of June at the Voodoo in Belfast in Northern Ireland, which is going to be fantastic as well. So make sure you are there, or you can be squared. And because who knows when it'll be next time when Ned will be in your city. So
That's right.
if you're in around that area, go and check him out because you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, man, come see the weirdest guitars in the universe.
Yeah, because you invented it. Because that's something which makes you. I guess that's your. I guess UPS, because you've done something which nobody else did, and you invented something. So that makes you stand out from the rest of the pack.
Well, yeah, man, it's just like at the end of the day, it has to be something people are entertained by. Fortunately, especially for guitar players, this my little slide capo thing that goes up and down the neck and stays put. It's pretty cool. Kind of like playing a pedal steel standing up. Yes, there's plenty to see. I play guitar, I sing. I have a
Yeah.
foot stompy thing that I get into. So it's even just for a solo performance, it sounds more like a band. Plus in Galway, I'm playing with a bass player and a drummer. So I get to do some of my trio stuff there. So that's going to be super cool.
Yeah. I guess as well, do you ever get, I guess, like nervous when you're performing in front of crowds, which you are not, I guess, used to, like like when you're touring and playing a lot in America, and then you come overseas, like to Ireland, for instance? Do you get a bit more nervous because you don't know how they might perceive you, or is it like another show?
Oh, that's a good question for any performer, really. The answer is no. The short answer is if you've performed for some time, you learn very quickly that fear is the mind killer, as they say in Dune. It's
Yeah,
crowds can sense it. They don't want that. They do not pay to see somebody break down on stage or feel nervous.
mm,
It's and everyone's a little different. I personally, just after years of touring and performing, I feel very comfortable on stage. And that's how I want people to feel. I want the people in the audience to feel comfortable and enthused and excited, just like I do.
yeah.
So, that's what we all want. We go to a
Yeah,
gig.
no, absolutely. Me too. Has a good time, including yourself and the fans, because you get more of a connection from them as well. And when you are setting up for your shows, are you quite involved in how the sound is? So, for instance, when people at the front can hear you clearly, do you also make sure that people at the way back as well can also hear your voice and your music as loud as the people on the front row?
Yeah, that's important. It's an old actor's trick from like back in Shakespearean times, is you're really performing for the people in the back of the room. You're
Mm,
trying to project backwards. Even though we have, modern PA systems and everybody's getting it at the same time, but
yeah.
it's that concept and why that is even like Bruce Springsteen's a great example. I mean, he's playing for 30,000 people,
Mm,
but he can make you feel like you're the only person in that space,
yeah.
and that is what the true magic of performing
Yeah.
is connecting a huge crowd into that singularity. And if you can do that, it's I think it's a win for humanity.
Yes, exactly. Spreading positivity in these most uncertain times, because I feel like as each year goes on, it gets more uncertain, and as the time goes on, doesn't it? And like having
Does.
yourself and many other fantastic artists bringing us joy as much as possible through social media, through live shows, through new music. You're doing what people want in the world, and you're doing a fantastic job, and your fan base is growing, and I guess that you probably seen an expansion of your fan base, because I bet when you first started, it was probably a bit harder to get your music out there to more people globally compared to now, where you can now just put it on a streaming site and Bob's your uncle. It can go as far as Australia or somewhere in Asia. So it's like mind blowing, isn't it? I guess for yourself, but I mean, when you first discovered that your music was hitting somewhere in a completely different place, you probably would never thought you probably would ever get your music heard. What was your reaction to hearing that at first when you were told that, or you saw that yourself?
I got an email from a guy in Belgium like pretty early on, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? And that's when the internet started to really like let started to like creep out of the hole and connect everybody. But I know exactly what you mean, and it's just a wonderful aspect of it. It's like yeah, I'm trying to remember in Ireland. I played a tour there, and I wound up meeting a girl, and I wound up writing a song for her. The whole sort of cycle, and that song was called "Shine Like a Diamond on Me," which was a
Love
really
it. And
fun
we do
song
have
to
a
write.
live YouTube just came in. It should be appearing on the screen, hopefully, in a moment. So again, we do have a bit of issues. I don't know why. It might be the Wi-Fi in my area. So you may have froze. No, not you. I may have froze, but we can you can still hear me, can't you? I think.
Again,
Which is good. We are back. Let me just try that again. We do have a live YouTube comment here on the show. It's from MedTech. They're saying hello from Bisbee, Arizona. So good evening from, well, good evening to you from Arizona. Thank you for joining this live conversation as much as we can. We are having some technical issues this evening, so your comment should appear on the screen, but it doesn't seem to be. So this is a shame, and as well the usual stuff which appears above the top of my head, it also does not want to work as well. So that's fantastic as well. So yeah, apologies for that. But yeah, this is live. This is about doing the show live, when things can happen
yeah, man,
out of my control.
yeah,
So apologies for that. It might appear on the screen at some point. You never know. It might just randomly just pop on. But you are there, and a shout out for you there as well.
yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about your new album you're teasing us as well. If you're allowed to give us much about it, I'll let you explain.
Yeah, I recorded a new record. It's called Strange Kind of Freedom. It's like sort of it's an emotional exploration of when you finally get to a point in your life where you're doing what you want to do and how strange that is, just how what a weird vibe that is. It's like, you're old enough to have the experience to know what you want, and then you're kind of going for it. It's all about that exploration. It's all fretless guitar, including this guitar is on it. This is the baby. And actually, MedTech, the person that left a comment, was instrumental in getting this guitar built. So that's
Yeah,
fantastic. So
yeah,
greetings to Bisbee, Arizona. But the new record it's 10 songs. It's in vinyl. It's my first vinyl record.
that's
And
awesome.
I recorded it here in Los Angeles with my friends Pete Griffin and Shane Gallus. It was mixed by Corey Churko, who's just a fantastic mix engineer, musician. He plays with Pink, Shania Twain. He's played with tons and tons of people. LA's got a great community for whatever you need. But yeah, I'll be playing songs off Strange Kind of Freedom on this Irish tour. And they all lay out pretty easily on the fretless guitar. I wrote them so so you could play, these riffs, which are based on fretless guitar stuff like. So I'm really excited to play it live. I've been playing it live for the last 8 or 9 months. I did a tour of South Africa, a couple of months of that, doing the record. I went to Japan. Of course, I'm going to come to Ireland, and I'm going to go straight into Satch 5. So it's just going to be a great, great experience. I hope
Yeah.
people really dig the record. It's on all the streaming platforms, but I do have the vinyl record for sale at shows.
And where can people buy the vinyl? Where can they buy it from your website or?
Yeah, man, the vinyl it actually is available on the website, but for the most part, it's a merch item. It's the new T-shirt,
Love it. I love it.
and
And
of
I'm glad
course,
you're developing it into vinyl because, of course, everyone said, oh, yeah, vinyl's gone way out of fashion. And then all of a sudden, in the last few years, it's now back in fashion again. So it's fantastic. So maybe CDs will do the same as well. Maybe they will come back into fashion.
Edward, that's a great question. I don't know if that will happen with CDs, but maybe it will. I know people that still have huge CD collections, and they like that experience of the discs. But yeah, nobody has a CD player anymore. They don't make them in cars anymore. So
True, that's
yeah,
true. That is true. But I still got a CD player in my house. I still got a CD player. But I will say this as well. Do you think there's a chance that beatboxes? Because I believe I've heard a rumor that beatboxes are also coming back.
a beatbox in terms of like like that kind of
Yeah,
beatbox.
yeah. Or those loud stereos that people used to take on the streets
Oh yeah,
as well.
boombox.
That's it. Boombox. Sorry. Yes. There you go. Boombox. That's
Yeah, I can see that happening. That was a pretty excellent era, with the big boom boxes.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I have seen an article that is meant to be back on the wires again, so I don't know how true that is, but do you think people might be smashing out your music on one of those?
Oh, please do. It's got
Yeah,
some bong rattling bass, as they say. This new record. Pete Griffin
absolutely.
played bass on it, and Pete's just a fantastic, fantastic musician. So
Yeah.
his bass playing is just extraordinary.
Of course, MedTech has also mentioned that an old friend of Ned's, Empress on Old. Empress, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. So
ah,
yeah, shout out to MedTech there as well.
fantastic. Enjoy.
Of course, Trains Kind of Freedom is also available on Spotify as well, and all streaming platforms, even through the website as well. Make sure you check it out and get yourself a copy today if you're going to buy the vinyl, because of course it's not every day you get to a vinyl of Ned Evett, because it's very special, and hopefully, if it's a success, which I hope it will be, then hopefully more music of yours will come onto vinyl in the coming months and years to come as well.
Yeah, I've been eyeing a couple of previous releases for vinyl. So we'll see how this tour goes over there, and thinking about that because yeah, people just really love vinyl records.
Yeah.
So most of my records are recorded in a manner which is conducive to vinyl, analog equipment. My 2012 record called Treehouse, which was produced by Adrian Belew, was very engineered just in the way it really translates to vinyl as well, or to an analog source. But so I would love to release that someday on vinyl. It's got great cover artwork too, which is just like, it's kind of the coolest thing about vinyl to me, besides the sound, is the artwork. You just get to see it,
Yeah,
see it
absolutely.
big.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And before we let you go here on this lovely Thursday afternoon, we got to say when Glenn reached out to you about I was interested in having you as a guest on the show. I know that about 10 or 15 minutes after I told Glenn this, I got a notification on YouTube that you subscribed to my channel. So thank you for doing. And I've also tagged your YouTube channel in the description of this video, so that my viewers can also go to your channel to check you out as well.
Great.
Menteco says, release Treehouse on vinyl. There you are. Yeah.
Oh. Let's do it. I wrote a song on Treehouse called Mars River Delta 2128. It's a folk song set on Mars in the year 2128.
Love it. 2128. Yeah. So when we get to that century, when we get to that year, hopefully people will be playing that tune in the 2128.
I think we will. You gotta stay optimistic. You hope that we can just keep going and keep reaching, keep striving and achieving, and lift everybody up. That's all we can really hope for.
And each live day as it was your last as well.
Yep.
And I got to mention as well 2 more things, and then I'll throw it to you for your final thoughts before we wrap this up. When you checked out my channel, I'm guessing you must have been impressed because you subscribed to it, so must appreciate for that. So, but what was your thoughts? Did you check out most of the content before coming back to Glenn to say yes, or?
Absolutely. You have a great style. You keep the conversation going. You have interesting guests.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of the fabulous things about podcasting in general. And yeah.
Well, hopefully I lived up to your expectations this evening anyway.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's fun. When I first played in Ireland, I did this show called Balcony TV, which was these 2 guys, and that you would come up like 3 flights of steps into their apartment. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was more like 6 or 7 flights of steps, and you would play on their balcony, and they would film it, and then they would edit it together. But you got to do like 2 songs on their balcony. And it was just genius. Wow. They wound up kind of franchising it. Then the guy moved to Germany or something, and they had Balcony TV Germany. And this was like YouTube before social media. Yeah. Really, sort of took over. Yeah. But I love doing that show, and I've loved doing your show too. It's just like I could hang out here all day if I didn't have a billion things to do before flying out to Ireland on Saturday.
Yeah. Soon be here. Soon will be Saturday before you be jetting off and coming over here to Ireland to perform. Second to last question for you. I'll give you the floor now to give your opinion on anything you'd like to say, which may not have brought up, which you think is very important to get off your chest. So the floor is now yours.
I would just say to any fans of live music out there in Ireland, if you would like to go to one of my shows, buy a ticket. It's the #1 thing that you can do to spread the word about the show, to make sure that the show happens, rather than waiting until the night of the show. Plan ahead, get a ticket. It helps the promoters relax, everybody relax. So participate. And I really, really appreciate each and every one of you.
There we go. I like that. Absolutely good advice and great way to almost end the show. And the other point I want to make as well, because I'm sure you've got some fantastic artists in your, I guess, contacts book. Is there anyone in particular you would recommend to have on the show next after you, to follow in the footsteps of Ned Evett here on the Fowler Show?
Well, I'm a big fan of this of Maggie Rose. She's a new singer from Nashville. She's worth checking out.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic songwriter and singer, and fearless. She has a fearless quality to her. She was like 7 months pregnant on the road with her Grammy nominated album. She's just a force of nature.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. So many fantastic. I'm beyond grateful and excited to tour with Joe Satriani and Steve Vai because not only are they at the top of their field, they have stayed at the top of their field and their artistic powers for decades. And it's the old adage. It's one thing to get to the top, but staying on the top is even harder. And they've both managed to do it and grow as artistic, entities. So I'm super excited for this upcoming tour with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to say, I feel like you stay at the top of your game as well, and I feel like you are always one step ahead compared to the rest in your genre of music.
Mm.
So I don't know how you
Well,
do it, but you do a fantastic job.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. So everybody come out, come see the fretless guitars, see the clamp slider thingy. Should I do a song to take us out?
You can in just a moment. Let me do one more comment for you. Ned
Okay.
always delivers a great show.
Yeah, man, it's all about entertainment at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So rather than just sit there and stare at my feet, I like to stare at the crowd instead.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, feel free to sing us out here on the Fowler Show.
Okay, here we go, bud. Oh, Mars River Delta, 2128. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. Well, I've been working on this mountain, mining for the nickel steel. Saltpeter and molybdenum, 30 miles of rubber seal. Online with my lover, she is coming up to me someday. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. Well, the Interplanetary Money Fund doesn't like a man to be living by the skills of the father's trade. Doesn't like a man like me. They sent the men to break and bind, poke and put behind all the metal coming up for free. Easy in the Martian gravity. Oh, Mars River Delta, 2128. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. Well, I sent my crew to the village. This was about harvest time. Told them go into the two moons going up above. Came along the line. I was near the sluice gate, river. I heard a noise coming over my head. It was people sneaking up on me. And if they catch me here alone, they'll spit me out and grind my bones, hide my body silently down some Martian cavity. Oh, one man called above me, speaking my Christian name. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. Well, Big Jim and his minions circling around my flank. One flick on the switching pad, and right into the river they sank. Last look on their faces, never gonna fade away. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. 10 men came looking for me, and one man walked away. Ow!
What a great way to end the show. Thank you so much for that. And if you enjoyed the episode, then all you have to do is smash the like button, share the video around to about Ned and his fantastic music. And not every day we get a musician to end the show like that. And as well, you want to see more of my great episodes from the past or the present, make sure to smash that subscribe button because you never know who may come on the show next. And until the next episode, whenever that may be, enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening. And thanks again to Ned for singing us out.
All right, thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me.